going to take line 2 first then.
Oh,
Or
okay.
should I take the out-of-town guy
Yeah, let's
first?
go ahead and take the out-of-town guy.
All right, but this is the only time.
Okay.
Stephen, you're on from North Carolina. Hello.
I can barely hear you.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, we've got you.
I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I figured since you're talking about moral panic, I guess what I gotta say is there's some relevance about how people like to say that atheism leads to war and genocide.
They do say that, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of like Stalin and Mao and all that crap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I hear that all the time though by
well, the thing about that is though, their atheism isn't what caused them to do any of the things they did.
Yeah, I mean, I just, because the point I like to bring up though is that, you know, like, because they like to, they like to say that because these individuals, you know, decide to do extreme things. Like I do realize that, you know, like Stalin, he did do some things in the name of atheism. Because, you know, he did kill, like, well, I've at least heard this, like, he's killed religious people in order to, like, promote atheism in a sort of violent way, I guess.
Well, it wasn't atheism per se, and Russell, correct me if I'm wrong. It was actually, he didn't want anybody else interfering with his drive to power.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so,
I'm not saying, like, everything he did was in the name of atheism.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
it was mostly for, like,
religions,
power and politics.
religions routinely try to suppress one another, and so the suppression of religion is not in itself an expression of atheism. And in this case, it wasn't a religion that Stalin was promoting. It was an ideology.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be quite fair to say that communism is a religion and therefore we blame atheist communism on religion, because, you know, that would be kind of a spurious connection. But it is the same kind of thing of requiring a vacuum in order to insert your ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, the point I try to bring up a lot, though, is that, you know, you can, like, basically take any belief to an extreme.
Right.
You know, I mean, any individual can take a belief to extreme, but what really matters is if the belief in itself is extreme.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Atheism isn't. It doesn't even have a doctrine that, you know, that preaches extremism and, you know, doesn't have a doctrine at all.
This is an area where I disagree with Matt, because Matt says that atheism can't drive you to act in some way.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, you know, atheism in no way can cause you to be extreme.
Well, I mean, you know, we've had this disagreement on the nonprofits. I'm actually of the opinion that if in the generic sense faith can be blamed for certain actions, then not having faith can induce you to act in other ways.
With you there, you know, like so, you know, sometimes religion, you know, not only is the justification but the inspiration for, you know, criminal acts.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just that, you know, but I'm not going to blame the religion if the religion is not extreme.
Well, you might. I mean, it depends on what the religion says.
And
I think that you can take
Christianity, though.
Right.
Like, I know a lot of people like to bring up the Old Testament, but I mean, I would have to agree with the Christians, though, that, you know, like, Jesus does pretty much imply that the Old Testament laws don't, you know, they don't.
That's not what he
said. No, in fact, he implies the opposite. In fact, he directly states the opposite. At one point, he says, "I have not come to change."
5:17.
Yeah, I guess I haven't memorized it by chapter and verse.
Yeah, I mean, it's the problem I have with that verse, though, is that like right after he says that, he ends up listing off the 10 Commandments and a few times refers to them as the law.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know, he does say throughout the New Testament, you know, to keep, you know, to obey the 10 Commandments. So that's why I'm kind of thinking that, you know, maybe he was just referring to the 10 Commandments.
No, I mean,
well, that's
that
not what he
would be
said.
kind of a narrow reading of the verse.
Yeah.
I mean, what he actually said was, "I have not come to change one bit of the law," and it would seem like one of those extreme contortions to say, "Oh, by the law, he only meant this specific part of the Old Testament."
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. You know, he doesn't make it clear when he says that. You know, like whether or not, you know, he's referring to everything in the Old Testament, or, you know, if he's just referring to specific things. Just what I was saying, though, is that, you know, like right after he says that, though, he ends up listing off the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
so
first
so
one, a couple times
would he
as
have?
well.
But I mean, I can't agree with you that Christianity doesn't lend itself to extremism. I mean, it has
Oh,
a
yeah.
central doctrine that people
Yeah.
that people are evil and deserve to be tortured forever unless they have a
Yeah.
specific belief
Well, yeah,
in
that
this,
is true.
Yeah.
in this
Yeah, I mean,
religion.
it's it's just like the religion, like what most of the Christians though, that they, whenever they, believe though that Jesus did abolish the Old Testament laws, they're most of the time they're not going to be going out, slaughtering people or anything.
Right. Well, but I mean, that only proves that people can have varying degrees of extremism with respect to any particular religion. I mean, there are moderate Muslims that I respect a lot, but there are also the batshit crazy fly planes into building types.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to use like Christianity as like, an example of where I personally don't really think it's an extreme religion.
Okay.
But other religions like Islam, though, I think it says around like the end of days, you have to slaughter and kill the non-believers.
Well, I think we're going to
I
move
think
on.
it says that. I'm not really sure though.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for calling, Steve, and I think we're going to move on to some local callers. So, see ya.